Well, hey there. This is October 6th, 2016, and over here on the East Coast we have a hurricane approaching me, and I thought, what better time to sit down and do a video as a hurricane approaches. Not just any hurricane. This is the largest hurricane in my lifetime that I've ever experienced, and I've experienced a few living here on the East Coast of Florida. This one supposedly is the worst one that's ever hit here, and it's on its way, and it's supposed to really start kicking up here in about an hour. It's already thundering, you may hear it, but in about 6-8 hours from now, it's going to be crazy here. So anyway, I thought, why not do the video that I've been wanting to do for a while as it was approaching. And the reason I knew it was approaching is because I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I thought, well, maybe it's a good time to say who I am, what I'm about, why I do this, which I've never done, and also, of course, more than anything, to thank all my subscribers for doing so and sharing my videos. So I figured this would be a good time to do that as I sit here and wait for the storm to hit. Well, you have to pardon the mess. If you see anything back there, you may see some activity back there because people are kind of scrambling around, and we've got all of our supplies all over the house. It's a little bit of a mess, but hey, you know, it's all about survival because we know we're going to lose our electricity here soon. So anyway, let's get to the video. Let's forget about the hurricane and get that off my mind right now. I just wrote some things down I wanted to talk about. And first of all, I never did this for subscribers. I never did this to get as many as I could. In a minute I'll talk about why I did this, but it was never about just trying to get as many people watching my videos and how many likes I had and all that kind of stuff. That was never it at all. So first I'll talk a little bit about me. Born and raised here on the East Coast of Florida, where I still live. I've been married for over 30 years. I have we have 5 sons. We've been foster parents. We've done foster care for over 20 years, something we really just enjoy. I think everybody should do something to help out society, to help out your neighborhood. That's what we do. It's a 24/7, I don't want to call it a job, it's really an honor to do it, but it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But it's what we both love to do. But whether it's you helping your neighbor take their trash cans down or get their mail if they're a 90-year-old elderly woman, those are huge things to people that can't really do things. Some people are afraid to walk down their driveway. If they fall, maybe no one's around to help them get up. So little things like that, maybe little to you and me, but it's a huge deal to someone in that kind of condition. So just think about little things you can do, and think about it. If everybody did one thing, no matter what, none is more important than the other, in my opinion, we'd have a better place to live in, wouldn't we? Well, I'm not that excited really, so we'll get to why I started doing these videos. And I gotta tell you, even as a little kid traveling, going up I-95 to West Virginia, where we always seem to go on summer vacation. Back when I was a kid, there was no cell phones, there was no all these electronic video games when I was really young to play with. You either played cards or you played some kind of game in the car, but most of the time you just spent looking out the window. And I gotta tell you, even as a kid, looking out the window, I would see abandoned buildings, or places falling down, or even just land that had just been, something had been torn down. I always have thought, who lived there, or who worked there, what did they do there? And that always crossed my mind, and for some reason it always intrigued me. Even as a little kid, I always was interested in places like that. Whoops, I dropped my notes. Okay. Drink here, hold on a second. I'm going to do very little editing, as you probably just figured that out. Not much editing on this video. Anyway, back to that. So anyway, I'm sitting here about 6 years ago, and my son was always on, well, YouTube, which I didn't know what it was, but always on the video, looking at these crazy videos or music videos. And one day I was sitting in front of the computer, and he walked by and I said, hey, what's that stuff you're always looking at? Where do you go to find where you look at those videos of people doing crazy things? He said, oh, that's YouTube. And he showed me how to go to it, and I was looking around, and I stumbled upon this guy, Kissimmee, in the middle of the rain, walking around with his video camera and a friend of his, videotaping places that I've been to or been by that have been abandoned and left desolate. And I said, my son, I said, how do you do this? What does it cost to do this and put this on this YouTube thing? He said, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And I said, really? I said, this is the kind of stuff I've always wanted to do. You've got to show me how to do this. So anyway, he showed me how to do it, and I thought I have to go get me a camera. Now, the last video camera I had was a handheld camcorder that you used to put on your shoulder, and you would use regular size VHS tape, and it was all tape. And that's what was in my mind. I didn't know. I'm not a technology type person. See, I told you, no editing, so that's what you get. But anyway, I knew nothing about things in 2011, 2010, whatever year. I guess it was 2010. Knew nothing about how this stuff works. So anyway, I had to get me a video camera. I go to Best Buy and I get this Kodak camera. This is a cell phone, but it kind of looks like a cell phone. You would hit record and you just videotape like this. And the first video I did was Port Malabar Country Club, which is in Palm Bay. And when I looked at it from the camera, it played back, it was just awful. And it was so shaky because I was holding it, and I thought, this can't work. And I instantly knew, I've seen those camcorders that have the little flip out, and you can see what you're doing. And I knew instantly I had to have a monitor that I could watch as I was videotaping. So I took that back, and I bought a Fujifilm flip camera. This isn't a Fujifilm, but you know, a flip camera like this one. And that's what I used. Then I went back and I recorded that again, and that's the video that's on YouTube right now. It was with that old Fujifilm. I think I paid $50 for it because it had been returned to Best Buy. So anyway, I used that for my first few videos, all the way up to Port Malabar bowling alley, which I used that Fujifilm camera. It was the last one I used that for, because somewhere in that dark bowling alley, which you could not see, it was the darkest place I've ever been in my life. I hit my monitor on something, and then it just went back and forth. I never would stay open. I would be trying to film something, it would close on me, and I was constantly playing with it. So I had to get rid of that one. And then actually, that's when I bought this Sony camera, and I have a lot of my videos on this camera. Probably most of them are on this camera. I used this for a couple of years. So it worked out really well. And this one I lost a little button that was right here. This is what would record, stop record, start record. So as you're walking around, you do it with your thumb. It was really great. You have the monitor open, you could control it with your thumb. Well, that fell off. And now I had to do it with the screen on and off, and it was kind of a pain. But this fell off at Mountain Vernon. I was walking in George Washington's playground, and on a little boardwalk there, it fell off, went through the board about 8 foot down to the ground under the boardwalk, and it's still there today. So, but this still works. My little one uses this most of the time. So the last couple years now, I've been using a Nikon D5200 camera. And that's what I'm doing this video on, and that's what I've been using since then. Well, the name Camera Silver that I use came from being a big Doors fan. You've heard Mr. Mojo Rising, which is Jim Morrison and his anagram mixed around, and that's where he got Mr. Mojo Rising. I thought, well, maybe I can do an anagram and come up with some kind of a name. And I put my name, my kids' names, and my parents' names, and I did all kinds of names, the people I knew, to have some kind of a name that would pop up, and nothing made any sense. I thought, let me just throw a couple of my last animals together, my last 2 dogs that I've owned, and mixed it around and looked down the list. It was a computer program, and up came Camera Silver. I thought, I'll just go with that. So that's where the name came from. It was my last 2 pets that I owned. Their names mixed around. The HC, you see this in most of my videos, and when I don't have it on, it usually means that I forgot it. I try to wear it all the time. HC is a nickname for Melbourne, is the harbor, considered the harbor city. I think O'Galley, Florida, which does no longer exist, but was once called the harbor city also. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, that's kind of Melbourne's nickname, the harbor city. And this was actually a baseball team that I coached. I coached travel ball, one of my kids from '99 to 2003, I think, something like that. And we'd have a different uniform every year. And this was one of the hats. This was actually my favorite hat that we had. For some reason, I just liked the way it looks. And I've always kept it. Of all the hats and uniforms we had, this is the only one that I kept because I really liked it. I named my team the Harbor City Monarchs after the Kansas City Monarchs because I'm a big baseball fan, but more than anything, as far as baseball, I'm more of a Negro League baseball fan. That's something I like to study. And so in honor of my favorite Negro League baseball team, the Kansas City Monarchs, I named my team the Harbor City Monarchs. And I actually copied one of their logos, but you put our own slant on it, and I thought it came out pretty cool. But that's enough about some of me. I really just want to say I never sought out to get a bunch of subscribers, but I appreciate every single one. And those of you that share my videos, that's what I really enjoy. That's where I get more subscribers. But what I really enjoy is the feedback. I get a lot of great feedback and a lot of positive feedback. Even if it's critiquing, if it's positive criticism, I'm always ready to take it. Some of it I've implemented, and they're 100% right. Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Sometimes I have a hard time correcting myself, and people keep saying, "Hey, I thought I told you to do this and that." And sometimes I just old habits are hard to break. I guess that's just the way it is. But anyway, storm's coming. I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching my videos, sharing my videos, putting down comments, all that fun stuff. The abandoned stuff, really quickly before I shut this thing down, is always interested me. If I find a real great abandoned place, I do want to go into it, but I have a lot of responsibility. I'm the breadwinner of the house. I got to make money. I got to have my job the next day. I don't want to be behind bars because I was doing something stupid. So I really have drifted more on historical stuff, and which I really enjoy because, like I said, I've always thought about places I go to anyway. Even if it's a great abandoned place I know nothing about, all I think about when I'm doing the video is who worked here and or who lived here and what was it like out there where the playground is or all that back in the day, and so I try to research that, and when I can find some stuff on research, I try to throw that in my videos. So that's what I like to do. So a lot of the historical stuff I really get into, and I'm trying to do more of actually, and it's a little bit safer. My age, I don't need to be doing foolish things. I've done enough of those on some of my videos. Some of the places on my videos, it looks like I really am being sneaky. Sometimes it wasn't that way at all. Sometimes it looks like it's a really simple place to go into. And sometimes I probably went to a place I shouldn't have gone into. So sometimes you never really can tell what you're seeing. But for the most part, I try to go in without doing anything illegal. I never will break a window. I will never push open a door. If I go in a place, it's really inviting, in my opinion, for lack of a better word. I just don't do things that are considered illegal or breaking and entering. That's something I don't do or would never do. So anyway, thank you again. And I'll get through this storm. A couple more videos on the horizon. And hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you